Hello, good evening. Very rare evening live stream. Today is Tuesday, February 11th, 2020. It is 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. In just a moment, we will be adding our Facebook and DLive and Periscope viewers to the stream. But I wanted to let you guys know this video is brought to you by Noble Gold. What can you say about gold right now? It is zooming ahead. It's actually up about 24% since the same time last year. It's projected to reach $1,600 or maybe even $2,000 according to recent CNBC reports. And this was before the China virus nonsense started. Gold in your IRA or 401k makes perfect sense because it acts like a balance. If the stocks fall, gold is a safe net. You don't buy insurance as the house is burning down. You buy it before it happens. Same thing with gold. Get it now before the price rockets even further. This is the breakthrough lots of people have been waiting years for, and here it is for you, quick and easy to sort out. Noble Gold can do all the heavy lifting for you. Call them today. Make sure you give Noble Gold a call, or you can go to the link, which will be in the description box shortly. Get your IRA and 401k stuff pinned down, and make sure you let them know that Tracy Beans sent you. Guys, I'm going to add in my other audiences now and just wait a second for everyone to join. You guys are fantastic. There is a ton going on tonight. If you feel so inclined, share this with your friends on social media, retweet the Periscope, share the YouTube video. It's been a crazy few days. What's up, guys? It's been a crazy few days. Had to jump online today, feeling this kind of surge of energy that I just want to go through with you. Because it's been a really insane afternoon of news. So let's just go through some stuff real quick. I'm going to vent a little bit about some things, go through an op-ed that I wrote today that I'd like for everyone to share if you guys like it, because I think that it's important. And off we go. So just today, I made a short list on Twitter here. We had this ridiculous sentencing memo in the Roger Stone case. Sorry about that, temporary brain fart. We had this ridiculous sentencing memo. They wanted him for 9 years, it comes out. 9 years in prison. And they throw in the sentencing memo these like obscure allegations that there was some kind of collusion between President Trump's campaign and the quote Russians, because the theory that Russia was behind this hack of the DNC, which they call a hack, is still out there and being propped up on its last legs by people that care not to do any work into the story and just perpetrate a narrative. Just a news flash for everybody. Saying something is debunked and discredited doesn't mean that it's debunked and discredited. Just wanted to let you guys know that. Just saying. So they put the sentencing memo forth. Everybody freaks out, of course, because regardless of what you think about Roger Stone, you know, from the CNN raid of his house, which we also found out today that Robert Mueller would not distance himself from CNN knowing about. In other words, he wouldn't say that his team didn't leak that to CNN. Between that and the other catastrophic targeting of people for process crimes that were created by the investigation itself, it's hideous, it's disgusting, it's gross. And I've been saying about the General Flynn case this entire time, these are holdover prosecutors from the Mueller investigation. These are not barred Justice Department people. These are prosecutors who were on the Mueller investigation that were seeing these cases out till the end. We covered on the news roundup the other day the fact that there's been a new U.S. attorney appointed in D.C. to replace Jesse Liu. Jesse Liu was supposed to take over as an undersecretary of some sort. I'm blanking on exactly what right now. It doesn't really matter. She was supposed to take over on that. But in the snowballing of events that has happened today, not only did one of the prosecutors that recommended that sentencing guideline step down, not two, not three, but four. Four of them. Four of them stepped down. All of them stepped down. Some resigned effective immediately. And there was some back and forth, Justice Department saying that this was not what was briefed to them in regards to what the sentencing was the recommendations were going to be, and that they did this kind of gone rogue. They all stepped down. A modified sentencing document was submitted to the court. And I believe that was even modified to read that they leave it up to the court's discretion. Randy Credico wrote a note to the judge saying, please don't give this guy jail time for this. This is absolutely ridiculous. It was Treasury. You're right, guys. Thanks in the chat. Sorry about that. Lots of stuff going on in this brain of mine. So Jesse Liu is gone. All of the prosecutors from the Mueller investigation are gone. I'm really waiting to see what happens in the Flynn case now, in the General Flynn case now, because there is obviously a lot happening here in terms of changes and momentum and stuff like that. And we were just talking the other day about how President Trump's hour-long lunch press conference where he thanked everybody for supporting him through the impeachment was a change in tenor, not just a thank you, but a beginning of the next phase. And I have a lot to cover with you guys tonight. I'm going to do it in as briefly a time as I can, but there's a lot going on here. So we had that. We had Jesse Liu. We got that there. There were a bunch of press conferences and other things from the FBI, other actions they're taking, et cetera, so on and so forth. Yesterday, we had the Chinese being indicted. Today, there was something else going on, and they were asked about this investigation into Ukraine during that press conference. Well, the gentleman who was responding said, I'm not going to comment on open investigations. This investigation, as per, I believe, Catherine Herridge, has been going on now for weeks, not days. They've been looking into Ukraine for weeks, and that ties back in to a thread that I did in September. And when I did the thread in September, it was a thread that I put together based on information I had obtained from a very well-connected source. And I was given permission to put it out, and so I did. The thing here is that at the time, I made a disclaimer, and I said, look, I would never, ever in a million years go ahead posting from an anonymous source unless I was certainly confident that what I was getting was correct information. The tone and tenor of that thread was before it should have gone out before impeachment even started. And that would have been just fantastic because it mentions a whole bunch of stuff in there about it. But they had been looking at Ukraine and they were looking heavily at the State Department. What they said basically was that they were on the right, they were on path for what happened with the FBI and the intelligence community, and that was all being handled and everything. But there was like a new facet of this investigation that had opened up, and it had to do with the State Department because that's where all the corruption lies. If you look at Clinton Foundation or anything else, a lot of this corruption came from State Department. And Uncover DC has done a lot of work over the past several months in regards to Soros and Ukraine and the State Department and all kinds of stuff like that. So if you have not checked it out, definitely go to Uncover DC and check out the work that's been put up by a number of really good reporters that we have working for us and myself there. But this is all melding together. So the collective swamp is basically crying out their last gasps of air. The thing about impeachment is it failed miserably, and they used their last political capital on weak-ass impeachment charges that were just lies. And everything has a snowball effect. So you'll see, as a couple tweets I'm going to share in a second, that there are the claims of Russian collusion that they threw out in these sentencing guidelines based on literally zero evidence. The whole Mueller investigation disproved collusion. And here these jerks are thinking they can get away with putting something that defamatory inside of a sentencing memo. It just speaks to the same behavior that went on in the impeachment fiasco, where there was no evidence for anything these people were saying. Lots of what they said was just outright lies. And there were no objections raised, nobody saying anything about it, these things being read into the record, and this is transmuted over to the swamp rat federal court system. I'm really interested to see if the judge allows them to get away with this. Now, all of those prosecutors are gone. Let's see who leaves next. Biden hightailed it. Don't mind those noises. I'm sorry about that. Biden hightailed it out of New Hampshire before he even knew what the results were. There are breaking news stories coming out right now saying that New Hampshire's results are going to be delayed. I talk about the fact that it is clear, or even if they're not, it is clearly looking more and more like, and they don't give us a choice, that they are conspiring to take votes away from Bernie Sanders. Now, I don't really care who the Democrat nominee ends up being because none of them have any ideas. All they have are I hate Orange Man and socialism. That's not going to work. It's just not going to work. The majority of the American people don't fall into that category. And in my video that I did a couple weeks ago where I kind of explain the landscape and the plan, it was about an hour long. I explain why this hill that they're choosing to die on is such a poor one. It is interesting because they think for some reason that Twitter is real life and that these vocal, active young people that have been indoctrinated into socialism represent the majority of the country and flyover country. And it doesn't. They don't. So it's going to turn out very badly for them. And you're starting to see some of these candidates posturing away from that. Little bit too little, too late. It's not going to happen. All you need to do is take a look at the lines for these rallies for the president and the statistics that Parscale is sharing with us about who's attending these rallies. And let's see if I can find them really quickly because they're stunning. Hold on. Bear with me. I think it was something like February 3rd. It's way too early. Hold on. Bear with me. I'm sorry, guys. Here it is. 52,559 tickets, 24,732 voters identified, 41% of them from in-state, because one of the things that people keep on yelling about is, oh, these people are traveling from out of state, which I think makes a better case for the enthusiasm than anything else. 17% didn't vote in 2016, and 25.4% of the people in that rally last night were Democrats. Democrats. Where's my little hamster? You guys ever see that hamster? So it's startling. We also had today Bloomberg fall from his very low height enhancing bench to have to answer for stop and frisk policing explained in one of the more heinous ways I've ever heard it explained. And, you know, it's not that we disagree per se on stop and frisk. It's that he's running as a Democrat and he apologized for it. And he knows what stop and frisk did in New York. And granted, there was a lot of abuse in stop and frisk, but the irony of what is happening to these people is just too much for me to even, you couldn't write it. You really couldn't write it. Here we go. Hold on, I want to show you something from yesterday. I'm doing this spur of the moment. Can you tell? Can you tell I wasn't prepared? Huh. Where is it? My Twitter feed is too busy. The guy's doing the press conference in Iowa, and he's standing in front of the podium, and he's standing there, and what happens? This.
By the precinct chair and the precinct secretary. They're signed not only by the precinct chair and the precinct secretary.
You can't script this better. You couldn't script it better. It's really funny. So, look, they're falling apart at the seams. Now, we also got Barr suing sanctuary cities, which is fantastic. A 6-count indictment against Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett, which I had to watch that Dave Chappelle skit one more time. Jussie Smollett is indicted. Do you remember the nonsense that we had to live through the month of January last year? Do you remember? It's coming home to roost. I am still waiting to see what is going on with the FBI investigation into the mail threats. And we also had James. Oh, this one was good. I think I retweeted this too. James, the podcast is going to be off the hook tomorrow, guys. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Where is the article? Here it is. Thank you, Sean Davis from The Federalist. Declassified congressional report. James Clapper lied about the dossier leaks to CNN. Buried within a newly declassified congressional report on Russian meddling that I have not been able to read yet, but I've been dying to. Oh, they took it down. Oh, this is from 2018. Wow, color me shocked. I had no idea. James Clapper was the one who leaked to CNN. I had no idea that this was actually true, but there is another report about Russian interference that came out that I haven't been able to read. This is my bad. I made a mistake. I am a human being. Yeah, so anyway, I didn't know that. I had no idea that it was James Clapper that leaked the dossier to CNN. Brand new to me. Thank you, BB, for the super chat. That's so appreciated. Thank you so much. And then on top of that, we had this.
The scope of the and role of the NSC staff has changed over the years. It's been 70 years from, and I'm going to give a couple of examples. 12 staffers supported President Kennedy during the Cuban Missile Crisis. There were approximately 35 policy professionals under President Carter. That grew to about 100 under President Bush, President George W. Bush, Bush 43 in the first term. And those 100 policy staffers were dealing with the war in Iraq, the war in Afghanistan, the global war on terror, and everything else that's on the plate of the president. When I assumed office, and under President Obama, that staff grew to about 240 policy professionals. And so when I talk about the
I wouldn't call them professionals.
Policy professionals, I'm not talking about the folks that operate the White House Situation Room, WISR, or that handle the computers, or the technical staff at the White House that report up through the NSC, but the policy staffers. When I took office, there were over 175 policy staffers, and in discussing this with my colleagues, with predecessors, with the president, we felt that a policy staff that was similar in size to the staff that staffed President George W. Bush in the first term was the appropriate number for us. That was a number that could be well managed and would deliver the president what he needed without the bloat and inefficiency that can sometimes seep in. The other thing is we did not view it as necessary in this administration to recreate a mini State Department, a mini Pentagon, a mini Department of Homeland Security over in the Eisenhower building, the old executive office building. So we've proceeded with the right sizing for the most part. That streamlining and right sizing is concluded. I think we're down to around 115 to 120 staffers, or will be by the end of this week.
More firings, you say? Bummer. I'm so upset. And Andrew Yang is out. And there's more. There's more going on right now. Now we're going to get to theory, okay? Now we're going to get to theory. I'm going to tell you guys a little story. It's a little story from about a year ago where Twitter user Harold Finch wrote a thread where he exposed some connections that included Asha, her name is. I have her blocked. Here she is with Robert Mueller. She also is very good friends with James Comey. And once these connections were exposed, Asha got her buddies to attack the researchers that exposed them, literally threatening them with, here, it was Mark Zaid that threatened Rex, Imperator Rex on Twitter. I don't know if you guys remember him. He was fantastic. He got threatened by Mark Zaid, and I tweeted a reply to somebody about that the other day. Because I want to show you what Zaid said. Zaid is the whistleblower's attorney. That's what Asha jumped up, got her buddies, John Cipher from this old time CIA guy, and attacked normal everyday researchers. And she has been wrong about everything, literally everything. She says now, I have really tried and encourage others to have faith in the resiliency of our institutions. But today, I just feel so much sadness, grief over what's happening. There's a cancer in the White House and it has spread to the Justice Department. Here's the thing. For years now, we've been subjected to the Justice Department targeting people based on political and, I guess, corrupt reasons. Investigation after investigation after investigation. And now here we are when the real investigations are coming down the pike because there are no more obstacles in the damn way. And these people are going to stand up on some moral high horse and lecture about how the Justice Department has gone rogue. They're all criminals. Absolutely ridiculous. I am having a field day with the Jennifer Rubins of the world, okay? I really am. Here. This is this is conservative opinion writer Jennifer Rubin. Yes, we are in deep, deep trouble. The Justice Department becomes a political hit squad for an unleashed president. President Trump, empowered by acquittal in his impeachment trial and allowed free rein by his Republican Senate allies, has waged a war of vengeance and retribution against those who declined to enable his impeachable conduct. Now he has taken a club to the Justice Department. The Post reports on the 4 prosecutors who refused to go along with their boss's directive to reduce the sentencing recommendation for Roger Stone following Trump's tweet criticizing the 7 to 9 year sentence recommendation. They talk about here how Trump is an autocrat, how we're in deep trouble, how the Justice Department is now a dictatorship where political enemies are going to be assassinated, in quotes, by a rogue Justice Department hell-bent on locking up their enemies for no cause at all. It's just absolutely asinine and delicious at the same time. Because what are they going to do? These indictments don't matter, but these did? Literally everybody that they ended up indicting was investigated because of a crime that never occurred. It's just mind-blowing. So what did I do? What did I do today? I saw this. You know what? Let me just... Things have changed. The DOJ. Where is it? I'm sorry. Here we are. Instead of trying to reform the press or critique its coverage, today's most influential conservatives want to destroy the mainstream media altogether, says McKay Coppins. So I decided that I needed to respond to this And I did. And if you don't mind, I'm going to read my article because I need to get it off my chest. Okay? All right. McKay Coppins penned a piece for The Atlantic entitled "The $1 Billion Disinformation Campaign to Re-elect the President." In it, you find the usual screeds found in a left-leaning media piece, like words like deceptively edited video, proclamations about how the president was guilty of the alleged offenses put forth in the impeachment hearings, and how his slick campaign team created social media pieces which misinform his base. The truth is, this is more of the same. It is quite clear at this point that to some, truth is no longer objective but subjective. That is, the legacy media and folks like McKay have become so used to propagandizing Americans, they've actually started believing their own lies. It's a dangerous place for us to find ourselves. And to pull a quote from an interview he gave on CNN, instead of trying to reform the press or critique its coverage, today's most influential conservatives want to destroy the mainstream media altogether. Well, McKay, you and your pals have done a fine job of that on your own. I don't need to sit here and educate you guys about the depths the formerly known as mainstream media have sunk to in their quest to retain the status quo. By now, a majority of Americans know the media in its old form has been laid bare. They have been exposed for the dishonest journalists that they are and the shady propaganda operations they're running. They've spent almost 5 years now yelling falsity at the American people, and in their hubris, they have shaken us from our slumber. The media you once knew is dying on the vine, and as someone who has worked nearly 24 hours a day for the past several years to replace it with something that you can count on, I am absolutely thrilled at the notion. The truth is, we are fed up with being lied to. Somewhere along the way, journalism shifted from Woodward and Bernstein to sitting at your desk and waiting for the government to call with the story they wanted the public to consume. Tips from third-hand sources, propaganda operations being run by a rogue intelligence community, stories being written about an administration during an election year and then passed to said administration for approval before publishing, journalists referring to themselves as hacks in emails meant to be kept secret. They sold out for influence, power, money, and to steer this country away from the truth and into the hands of their elitist masters. Has anyone stopped to think what the United States would look like right now if the media had just told the truth? I whisper myself every day, if only they would just tell the truth. And that is the sad fact. The legacy media is complicit in the quest to destabilize the country. They're complicit in the attempts to unseat a duly elected president, and they are complicit in fanning the flames of division that seep through our families and our friendships. They are the reason for all of this. If only they would just tell the truth. Well, guess what? We got sick of it, and we took it upon ourselves. I personally made it my life's mission to report on the stories of our time with integrity and honesty as my mantra. I told myself that no matter what the story, whether it affects a Republican or a Democrat, the American people deserve the truth. They don't just deserve it, they demand it. When I began, I didn't know how it would pan out, but as I pen this for my news organization, Uncover DC, I realize it's panning out just fine. Take a look around, McKay. The people are speaking and you aren't listening. We see through your lies and how you try to protect those who align with you ideologically from scrutiny. We understand you can't be trusted because you don't have the desire to do actual journalism. You do, however, have a lust to maintain power and influence, and that is being eroded just as we sit here. Gone are the days when you could rest on your laurels and expect a story to fall into your lap, all tied nice in a bow. A story replete with the narrative that the power brokers wanted you to peddle. In return, they'd give you a pat on the head and an interview to raise your status. But now, you're reduced to speaking to your cohorts in a shrinking echo chamber, and the echoes are loud. The free market is speaking, and it's screaming for new media. An honest look at the ratings will tell you all you need to know. Most of my colleagues get more traction on their Twitter accounts and podcasts than CNN gets in an entire month. I don't need a fact check on that. You know it's true as well as I do. The legacy media has not learned, and it is clear they will not learn. They're desperate to hold on to whatever influence they used to have, and they're too ignorant to realize that we're all wise to their games. The only people they fool anymore are those who may just be too far gone to see the forest for the trees, and that is so unfortunate. So McKay is right in some ways. We are replacing the legacy media with something we can be proud of. And we won't stop until Americans are armed with the knowledge they need in order to make informed decisions and force accountability for those who have committed wrongdoing. The quote, mainstream doesn't do this anymore. They're a propaganda machine with ill intentions. And I'll say it again. The entire reason that a portion of this country hates the president is because they have been fed lies, disinformation, and falsehoods about him for years. If they just would have reported truth, we'd have a citizenry that understands what is happening in the world and a country aghast at what has occurred for the past several years. I started Uncover DC because I was tired of watching the American people receive falsehoods from the former arbiters of the truth. Quote, I wanted to reinvent media and investigative journalism with integrity, as it should be. We are well on our way to abdicating the old media to the dustbin of history, their influence and information streams cut off. People trust new media now. They know that we connect with each other, that we don't view ourselves as above our friends, and that we care deeply about the truth in this country. They know we work as a team. This is the future, and it's playing out in beautiful fashion. So to McKay and all of the others like him, a warning you definitely won't heed. We see you, and more people see us now than you would care to admit. Nothing can stop an idea whose time has come. We are here, and we are not going anywhere. Ever. I hope that is heard loud and clear everywhere it needs to be. The time has come, friends. The time has come. The time has come. So, as I do this stream right now, there's still a whole bunch of stuff coming in. There's a whole bunch going on. Let's take a quick look through on Twitter and see what's going on. That can't be my first tweet. Home. AG Barr assigns U.S. attorney to work on information on Biden. That's good. Okay. Thanks everyone for retweeting this. Oh, here we go. Let's hear this Lou Dobbs breaking news.
Failed impeachment.
Let's hear it, friends, shall we? If it'll play.
President Trump reportedly looking at removing one of the men responsible for starting the Dems' failed impeachment sham. The president and his advisors are said to be discussing the removal of Intelligence Community Inspector General Michael Atkinson. Atkinson, responsible for transmitting the so-called whistleblower's complaint to Congress. President Trump reportedly looking at...
That sounds great. Somebody is telling me that I should look at Donald Trump. All starting to unravel with this ridiculous 9-year sentencing recommendation. Is this the judge that put Paul Manafort in solitary? Something that not even mobster Al Capone had to endure? How did she treat crooked Hillary Clinton? And a swamp creature with pull was just sentenced to 2 months in jail for a similar thing that they want Stone to serve 9 years for, a phony Mueller witch hunt. Whatever happened to Hillary campaign manager Podesta's brother? Why wasn't he caught forced to leave his firm with big bad things to happen? Why did nothing ever happen to him? Only the other side? Oh, President Trump. President Trump. What a beautiful time to be alive right now. What a beautiful time to be alive. I got to be honest, it has been frustrating as all get out, waiting for all of this to get underway, waiting for the tenor shift, waiting for accountability. We're still waiting for indictments. I'm telling you, I got a tip. This week is going to be off the chain. I'm seeing that it is Tuesday at 9:19 p.m. I have been up for goodness knows how many hours. I have not been so invigorated in months as I am right now for some reason. Michael Atkinson, let's give a quick refresher for folks who may not know who he is. He is the Intelligence Community Inspector General. He also was involved in the Spygate malfeasance, and he changed the rules on hearsay to allow the whistleblower complaint to be accepted. Devin Nunes, who is a hero of mine, a personal hero of mine, has gone through and is asking for documents from him. He's declining to provide and skirting around. Devin Nunes the other day said that he would be recommending criminal action against him if he doesn't comply with those document requests. There's also, before I go back on to Michael Atkinson, which we'll talk about in a second again, there is also some news coming that, hold on, I've lost my train of thought. Oh, this anonymous question. There's a lot of people talking about this. The president was asked today during the press conference whether or not he knows who Anonymous is. In case you guys missed it, there is a book set to print called Anonymous that is written completely anonymously, supposedly, and it's supposed to uncover all these dirty secrets in the White House. And today at the press conference, President Trump basically said he knows who wrote that book. So that should be breaking too. Here's the thing. Watching this, I'm just sick and tired. Like I think you all are. I'm sick and tired of seeing how can I even put this in words? I'm done with the hypocrisy. I'm done playing nice. I'm finished with it. I'm going to hit people between the eyes and walk away, figuratively, of course. Enough is enough already. The momentum needs to shift. It needs to shift. It's shifting right now. There is absolutely no way that evil can continue to go on that way. It doesn't happen. There needs to be equalization, okay? And there will be equalization. And it's happening right now. Right now. Barr's DOJ signals a willingness to act on politically charged cases. Let's see what else we got here. I could go on all night tonight, guys. I really could. Undercover Huber, at least one of the sources for this article are the ex-Mueller prosecutors of Flynn. Take it to the bank. And this isn't the only time they've leaked to the press. NBC News, NBC fake news. The U.S. attorney who presided over an inconclusive criminal investigation into former acting FBI Director McCabe was abruptly moved from that job last month. Blah, 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 blah. Fake news, fake news. Yeah, it's all going. It's all going to hit the fan. Get ready. They're talking about impeaching Barr now. This is just going to be so glorious. I'm going to feast on the tears. I cannot wait. You know what? Everybody always says, you should be humble about it when things start to happen and you should... I'm going to need at least 1 or 2 days. At least 1 or 2 days of gloating. At least. Okay? Just at least 1 or 2. So, I just wanted to get all that stuff off my chest. Oh yeah, Atkinson, getting, it would be great. It would be great if he was let go and they put a new ICIG in, because you can't trust him to do anything. There were a whole bunch of other investigations that he was involved in, including the Hillary Clinton email investigation, that just didn't go right. I'm just keep your eyes peeled on the news. I'm going to try and go live a lot more to talk about this stuff as it happens, especially when I'm wide awake at 9:25, not even yawning. Listen, guys, the other day I said, and I'll say again, I so appreciate all of you. I can't even put it into words. It means so much to me. If you would like to support my work, which of course is always free to everybody, you can go to patreon.com/TracyBeans. You can go to subscribestar.com/TracyBeans, or you can go to paypal.me/TracyBeans. Send me a little tip to keep my funding going so I can continue to do this and bring you guys some news with integrity for once and run Uncover DC. It is absolutely fantastic to have the support of all of you. We're in all of this together. A lot of people requested during this stream here that I record that op-ed as just its own standalone video. I will do that. I want to hug you guys. I really do. You're my pals. You're my buddies. Oh, before we go, I have to show you. Let's leave on a funny note, okay? Let's leave on a funny note. It was something I saw yesterday that really just, this girl is hysterical. And here. Here we go. This is great.
I don't know how to, it's not even, it's, I know I could.
Are we ready? Hold on. It's not playing now. It always does this to me. Come on. Sorry, guys. I should have all this stuff ready. I did this on a whim. This is just uncensored. Uncensored beans. Uncensored hanging out with you guys at 9:30 on a Tuesday night, beans. I really love you guys. I love what I do. I love what I do, and I love what I do with you guys. I really do.
It's, I know I could call. I know.
I want you to hear the beginning. Apparently, I can't play this from the beginning. It doesn't want me to.
Working. I don't know how to, it's not even, it's, I know I could call, but I'm trying to use the app. I mean, we're told to use the apps. Yeah, just do a coin toss. It's not hard, okay? If we don't know, if we need a split tie, we just flip a coin and they get a delegate. It's very easy. Just flip. Yeah, it's not looking good for Biden. I mean, well, yeah, we'll just tell them the app's not working. I think Bernie's gonna win this, guys. I think Bernie's got this. We've been planning this for 3 years, guys. 3 years! And we can't get this together. Don't write it down. Don't write down the results. Nobody, don't use a pen and don't use a piece of paper. No! No, we'll just say we don't know the results. There's no results. It takes a while, right? I'm gonna blame it on the app, okay? Everybody, app. You just say, it doesn't work. We don't know how to use the app. I mean, it's not like we've been planning this. So it's just, looks like fourth. It's coming in fourth. It's just, are you on hold with Blitzer? Okay, just hang up. Just, yeah, no press. Yeah, get me Broward County on the phone. Okay, I need a drink. Oh my gosh. Somebody find a quarter. A quarter. Does nobody have a quarter? Stevie, you still taking those painkillers? Okay, because I'm going to need one right now. I mean, we could say Russia did this. I mean, we could still... It's always an option. Always.
Conservative mama. She is kick-ass. I love it. Absolutely fantastic. She did an Elizabeth Warren one, too. So, just saying. And Hublet had a good one come out the other day of Nancy Pelosi. We'll take a look at that one real quick, too. This is fun. I don't know if you guys are having fun with this. I kind of like doing this because I feel like I'm talking to my friends that just get it. Oh, this one was great, too. Hold on. Here we go.
Let's get ready to rumble!
My house is boss. Impeachment.
Oh my gosh, I can't. Oh wow, there's another one.
About this really seriously, you guys. Most of the things that we say in our daily lives are just like systemically racist. We need to bring socialism like to words by the skin of their teeth, meaning like you barely made it. That's not the way things should go. Like teeth don't even have skin. Like, it takes two to tango. Like, white people don't even know how to dance and shouldn't even be allowed to tango. It came from, like, indigenous peoples of Cuba and stuff. Or, like, saying with socialism that everything costs an arm and a leg. Like, first of all, nobody ever literally lost an arm or leg in socialism except, like, Hitler, I think, but that's not a good example. Like saying something's a piece of cake. You guys have seen my cooking. Making cake isn't even easy. Cutting it into pieces is not easy either. Like blow off steam. Like obviously I don't have steam in the inside. None of us do. Nobody should even be allowed to say fat chance. That's like literally hate speech. Driving me up the wall. Triggered, driving me up the wall. We don't need triggers and guns, and we definitely don't need a wall. So let's just get rid of those entirely. Biting off more than you can chew is not fair to people who, like, need food stamps. So, like, I'll probably bring my boyfriend in to kind of translate for the white people. And, like, I didn't even give him a safe word on this issue because it's, like, important. So keep an eye out for that. And we're going to flip these seats red.
Oh, Randy. Oh, Randy. If you guys aren't following her, it's @_Hublet on Twitter. HUBLETTE. Ugh, goodness. I love you, girl. Love it. Good stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of funny stuff on Twitter. There really just is. Here we go. Here are some New Hampshire primary results. Total votes cast 165,070. Here we are. Sanders 26%, Buttigieg 23, Klobuchar 19, Pocahontas 9, Biden 8, Steyer 3, Gabbard 3, Yang 2.9. And James Woods is back on Twitter. Can't find it. Hold on. Of course. Here he is. Why am I not? I was following James Woods. Hold on. There was something specific I was looking for. Here it is. This is the line outside of the rally for POTUS. You see it? You see it? Show me the two full chairs inside of a Biden rally, will you? Keep up the energy, guys. I'm going to go for now. I could sit here all night. I could just BSing and talking about nothing, but what good would that do anybody? It would do nobody any good at all. So I'm going to get going. But I love you guys. Have a fantastic evening, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Go subscribe to the podcast, Dark to Light. It is on TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple, iTunes, iHeartRadio, RadioInfluence.com. And there we go. Booty Judge. There you go. Booty Judge. That's a good one. Thank you guys so much. We'll talk.